Hello, this is George, and I'm going to continue my experimentation with doodle swatches because apparently, so I recently did an unboxing where I tried to limit myself on my budget because when I go to Michael's or when I go to Amazon, I tend to see something and I will instinctively select, well, I like this, I like that, I like this. So I'm going to buy all that. And before I knew it, I had overspent. So if you're like me, being a bit more frugal in your spending can be really advantageous. I also picked up a couple of tubes of paint, and it's all kind of dark, but this is the sepia. This is Prussian blue, and this is dioxazine purple. Three colors that I really enjoy playing with when I, many moons ago. So I wanted to augment my Winsor Newton, sorry, that's upside down, my Winsor Newton set of Cotman. And I had previously purchased Raw St. Anna, which is kind of a close match to yellow ochre. And although I like the intense blue, I wanted to pick up some, this one, because Prussian blue is a lot different than the intense blue because it's more or less like phthalo blue, but it has an idea of its own importance in my work, but don't tell it because I don't want to have it have a big head. Now, the other ones I did was dioxazine purple, and I like the purple lake that this set comes with, but again, it's a different hue, and I really gravitate to the dioxazine purple because besides that, I like to say the word. I have the other one is sepia or sepia, depending upon how you want to pronounce it. And I have already the yellow ochre, which is an earthier yellow. So I'm going to start with my phthalo blue. So back in the Stone Age, when I was first starting out using watercolor, I relied heavily on these plastic pans. And what I would do is to put a little bit of water in a well, and this is the Prussian blue, but I would, and this is back when I didn't know about the half pan, but what I would do is to put a little bit of color or paint on my well and have a bit of a bigger brush. And right now I'm using a number 6, and I would just a little bit pigment on my brush, swirl it around, and if I needed more, kind of like that. So the consistency when I used to paint would be like consistency of tea. Now I have water over here. I have 2 of these. One is to clean out my brush, and the other is to get extra water on my brush that's clean and tap it off. Before, I would do swatches on small sections and vertical lines or sections, but they kept getting larger and larger. What I'm going to do today is with my pencil, a normal pencil is to draw in some circles. And I'm looking forward to actually experimenting with my Cancel XL as far as how much layering I can do on this. This is from the new phone that I got, and I like the shapes, so I cut out the packaging that the phone came with, and I'm going to draw in some lines. So when you have packaging apparently I need to practice saying that word, but that's okay. Save your packaging. There you go. and cut out something that is interesting. So it's going to go in my little shape area, and let's get rid of the bottom part. I'm using my kneaded eraser to get rid of most of the pencil. So let's get back to my pan, and let's do a broad wash on this, okay? And get water every so often. And a bit more. Now, I don't know if the Canson is cotton or if it's cellulose. I don't think it's cotton, so it'll act differently. But regardless of the content or the type of paper, you're going to have to learn its strengths and weaknesses along the way, which is good because it keeps you on your feet. So it's good on absorption of water. Good, I like that. And again, I'm not really concerned about going over the lines every so often. Get a bit more pigment on your brush and work it in. And if you like to use tape or washi tape, go ahead and do that. So there is a little bit of buckling, but I'm not concerned with that. What I could do is use a blow dryer on the paper and have it both here on the front and on the back. But like I said, I'm not overly concerned, because once you close it, and you can put a heavy book on it, give it a rest for a day or so, and then the paper should be maybe not buckle free, but not a big problem. But you know me, I'm always a little bit anxious to continue with my art. So I'm going to use a little bit of heat on the lowest setting possible. And help it along and drying a bit. What I like to do is, once the paper is more or less on the way to being dry, that's when I would apply a little bit of heat. I like to give the water and the pigment a chance to mingle on its own without stopping the process by using a heat gun. So I use it on the lowest setting, about maybe 3 or 4 inches away from the paper, and move it around. I like watercolor, but its dry time is the only downside from my way of thinking. So I'm going to apply it on the back, where I was again on the lowest setting possible. And that was a heat gun, but if you have an old hair dryer, that's as good as the heat gun. So